All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something a ton of us use every single day for online privacy, the VPN. But what if that feeling of safety isn't the whole story? We're about to find out what your VPN isn't telling you.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that when you flip on your VPN, you become completely invisible online? Like, poof, you're a ghost. It's a really powerful idea, right? And it's a huge selling point for these services. But as we're about to see, the reality is, well, it's a lot more complicated.
You've got the promise on one side, total privacy, an invisibility cloak, complete security. But then you've got the reality. And according to a pretty detailed report from Virtualization Options LLC, that's a technology research firm based out of Colorado, the reality is that VPNs have some pretty significant limitations. They're just one tool, not a whole security system.
And that really gets to the core of it, the promise versus the problem. It's time we start to unpack this myth that a VPN is some kind of silver bullet for all your online privacy worries.
Okay, first things first, let's be fair. VPNs do some things incredibly well. I mean, they encrypt your traffic, basically scrambling it so nobody can spy on what you're doing. And yeah, they mask your real IP address, which is awesome for getting around those annoying geo-restrictions or censorship.
But here it is, the big but. And it's pulled straight from that Virtualization Options LLC report. A VPN is not a silver bullet. It doesn't, and frankly, it can't, protect you against every single threat out there on the web.
So where do the cracks start to show? Well, it turns out your anonymity isn't as absolute as you'd hope. There are these little technical loopholes, things like leaks and digital fingerprints, that can actually give you away.
Okay, so this first one is called a DNS leak. Think of it like this. Your VPN is an armored truck, right? It's carrying your data safely. But to ask for directions, which is what a DNS request is, your computer just for a second pops its head outside the truck. And in that moment, it can reveal your real location. Not good.
Then you've got WebRTC leaks. WebRTC is the tech that lets you do video calls right there in your browser. Super convenient. The problem is, it just loves to create its own little side connection, totally bypassing your VPN's armored truck. It's like opening a side door and shouting your real IP address to the website you're on.
But maybe the wildest one is browser fingerprinting. Because even if your IP address is perfectly hidden, websites can still figure out who you are. They look at all these little details, your operating system, your screen size, what fonts you have installed, and they combine it all to create a unique digital fingerprint. And a VPN can't do a single thing to stop that. And it's not just these technical leaks. There's a whole other category of threats that your VPN is just completely blind to, mainly because they happen outside of that secure tunnel it creates.
I'm talking about malware. Think about it. You download a bad file or visit an infected website. It doesn't matter how secure your internet connection is at that point, that virus is now running on your computer. It has access to all your files before they even get a chance to go into the VPN tunnel. The VPN is basically useless at that stage.
And this brings up a really crucial point. No amount of fancy encryption can protect you from yourself. If you get tricked by a phishing email and give up your password, a VPN can't help you. It's a tool for network privacy, not a shield against human error or, someone just straight up stealing your laptop.
So we've talked about tech flaws, we've talked about human error, but there's one more massive piece to this puzzle. The people and the policies that are actually running the VPN service you're using.
And this is a really big deal, again, coming straight from the tech report. When you use a VPN, what you're really doing is you're moving your trust from your internet service provider over to the VPN company. And some of those companies, they keep logs of what you do. That data could then be sold, used for advertising, or even handed over to the authorities.
So how can you tell the good guys from the risky ones? This table is basically your cheat sheet. You want to find a provider with a strict, audited, no logs policy. They need to be transparent. If their policy is kind of vague, or if they haven't had any public third-party audits, that is a huge red flag for your privacy.
And you can't forget about who else might be watching. Your internet provider? They still know you're using a VPN, and they can see how much data you're using. Your boss? They can still put monitoring software on your work computer that a VPN can't touch. And governments. They can absolutely pressure VPN companies to hand over any user data they have.
Okay, so knowing all that, what's the answer? Is it just don't use a VPN? No, not at all. The real answer is to change your mindset about security. It's about building a smarter, more layered defense. I think this is the best way to think about it. A VPN is a fantastic lock for your digital front door. It really is. But it's not the alarm system, it's not the security cameras, and it's not the steel reinforced walls. It's just one piece of a much larger security system.
So this is what a real layered security plan looks like. You keep using a VPN, for sure, but you also pair it with a strong antivirus. You learn to be super careful about phishing emails and suspicious links. And right from the very beginning, you do your homework and pick a VPN provider that has a proven audited no-logs policy.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you know the real risks involved, take a second and think, what's the weakest link in your digital security? Is it a technical thing, like a DNS leak? Is it the VPN provider you've chosen? Or is it just the human element? Figuring that out is your first step to being truly secure online. Thanks for tuning in.